version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Khanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you all for attending the Bhakti Sanga conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
हरे कृष्ण नंद प्रिय नर्मदा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम आई सी यू माता जी
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru Maharaj and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashmati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yeshwamati Priya Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna, nice to see you, Mataji. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nanpriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble wishes to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce yourselves? Please go ahead. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Radha Pramod Prabhuji on the call to enlighten us on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3, Sloka number 29. Yeah, before handing over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji came to his Krishna consciousness in the year of 2001 and he got initiated from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in the year 2006, and Prabhuji completed Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapita from BVRC. And Prabhuji is now rendering service in the Abbott's Hyderabad Center. He's preaching there, and Prabhuji is also training and educating corporate youth. And Prabhuji is also giving daily sessions on Asta TV and other local channels. And also Prabhuji conducting online Bhagavatam sessions for many devotee groups around India, and also not only around India, even all around the world. Maybe now we are not in India. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, are you? Yeah.
Yes, Mataji is there on the call.
Sorry, Mataji.
He's there on the call, but he's
Yes,
not
Mataji.
on his video.
But still there's 2 more minutes, right? Shall we go ahead with introductions, Mataji?
Yeah, sure, Mataji. I can pause this. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Anyone wants to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Valli Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming on the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji's video is not yet on, Mataji.
Unmuted himself, Mataji, so not sure whether he's ready or he needs one more minute. I can see his microphone is unmuted.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 8, Chapter 3, Sloka number 29, Prabhuji. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Prabhuji.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. This is Canto 8, Chapter 3, Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender, Text 29. Nayam veda sa atmanam ichchakyaham dhyahatam tam durantyam mahatmyam bhavantyam tosmyaham. But to a translation, no, not. I am people in general. Veda, no. Swa, own. Atmanam, identity. Yet Sakya, by whose influence Aham, I am independent. Dhiya, by this intelligence. Hatam, defeated or covered. Tam, unto him. Dhuranteya, difficult to understand. Mahatmyam, whose glories. Bhavantam, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Itaha, taking shelter. Asmi Aham, I am. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, by whose illusory energy, the Jiva, who is part and parcel of the God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, every living entity, regardless of whether he be human, demigod, animal, bird, bee, or whatever, is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord and the living entity are intimately related like father and the son. Unfortunately, because of material contact, the living entity forgets this and wants to enjoy the material world independently according to his own plan. This illusion, Maya, is very difficult to surmount. Maya covers the living entity because of his willingness to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and makes his own plans to enjoy the material world. As long as this contamination continues, the conditioned soul will be unable to understand his real identity and will perpetually continue under illusion life after life. Ato graha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya mohoyam aham mameti. As long as the living entity is not enlightened so that he may understand his real position, he will be attracted to materialistic life, to house, country, or field, society, sons, family, community, bank balance, and so on. Covered by all this, he will continue to think, I am this body and everything related to this body is mine. This materialistic conception of life is extremely difficult to surmount. But one who surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as this Gajendra, the king of the elements, comes to enlightenment on the Brahman platform. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kamshati. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim lavate param. One who is transcendentally situated at once realizes Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Since a devotee is completely on the Brahman platform, he is not jealous of any other living entity. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. Om jnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I am grateful for this opportunity to serve all of you. Here, very important point that is discussed. It is said that I offer my, Gajendra is telling, I offer my respectful lessons unto Supreme Lord, by whose illusory energy the Jiva is part of the God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. So we'll try to understand this concept. Problem, what is the real problem? The real problem is the bodily conception of life. This is what we should know, which is causing all the other problems. As such, there is no problem. But because we identify with the body, then all the problems start. Dehatma buddhi. Right? And we will try to, there are many identities we create for ourselves. So that causes much more problem. And so, like these identifications which are created because of our existence in this material world. Of course, it's a long caused identifications which cannot be removed so easily. So our main problem is actually our attachment only. Despite the fact that the soul is spiritual in nature, directly opposite in nature to matter, nevertheless, it is bound by very strong bonds. And we are constantly in this unnatural state. And because now the soul is looking for itself, its own nature. But due to attachment to matter, she cannot do it this very properly. She constantly fluctuates, comes back, oscillates between one another. And the essence of any spiritual practice is to get rid of this attachment only. The problem is we cannot live without attachments. That is impossible. So now the essence of any spiritual technique is to replace this material attachment with spiritual ones. But because just by saying get rid of material attachment, we cannot do it. We cannot, it means we are hung in vacuum. So to remain incomprehensible somewhere in void, that's how a person feels. It is not clear who am I, what am I. Sometimes people say, get rid of ego. Now, if I get rid of my ego, who will I be? If I get rid of ego, the ego is me, right? So now, this is the method of Gita to help us replace material attachment with spiritual attachment. The spiritual attachment is called love, and material attachment is just opposite. Hatred and aversion and all these things, lust. So spiritual love and does not have any opposite. Material love, one step from love, it's just one more step is hatred only. So material love is not love in full sense of the word, because there is opposite for it. But we should understand that what is the spiritual way, the spiritual strategy. Strategy for spiritual growth or spiritual strength is a strategy of our transformation, because changing material attachments to spiritual ones implies a revolution in the soul. It implies a very great transformation of our inner nature. And Vedic astrology and Ayurveda.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry for interrupting. Prabhuji, we are just able to see blank screen, Prabhuji.
Mataji?
We are able to see just blank screen. If you're okay, you
Oh.
can share yourself. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
As such, I am not sharing anything. I am just sharing the shloka only. You are able to see the shloka?
Yes,
Now we are
now
able
we
to
are
see.
able to see.
Even in the beginning, we were able to see the sloka, Prabhuji. I think maybe you have opened another Word document or something. Then it started showing a blank screen. Yeah.
Now you are able to see.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
So anytime if you don't see, you let. I'm not sharing anything. I'm just. Now we will see that what is the strategy of our strategy of spiritual growth is strategy of our transformation, because changing material attachments to spiritual world implies a revolution in the soul. It implies a very large transformation of our inner nature, which is actually very difficult to do in one level, because what happens is it becomes very painful to change. I will tell 2-3 points here. There is sentimentalism and there is fanaticism. Sentimental means we say everything is fine, and people who are sentimental and ritualistic, it's like Arjuna, he said, Krishna, I'll go to forest and read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Krishna said, you are sentimental. We may think, are such a nice thing, na? He said he's going to forest and reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Why Krishna is not allowing, right? Krishna is telling you are sentimental. And then, okay, Krishna, you tell what I should do. Should I fight or not? I will fight. If you are telling, I will completely trust you and I will fight. This is called fanaticism. Arjuna did not ask that. Arjuna asked that, what is good for me? Yashreyasya nishitam bruhitanme. He is not asking, should I fight or not? If you remember second chapter, 7th shloka of Bhagavatam, Shishyasteham swadimam tvam prapannam. That shloka, Arjuna is telling, tell me what is shreyas for me, what is exactly good for me. He is not asking Krishna to tell him what is whether to fight or not. If Krishna tells, okay, you fight, then it is fanatics. The people who are fanatic, they say, my guru said, that's all, I will do it. And my way, our God is right. Whatever he is only right. So what these people do, they put the responsibility of on somebody else. They try to search somebody who is big and put all responsibility on them, and then they do blindly. These are fanatics. So we have these tendencies also. We also feel, okay, it's all Guru's duty. Prabhupada said, chant 16 rounds and follow regulative principles. He will take us back to Godhead. I am doing, I will definitely go back to Godhead. It is not like so simple. Uh, it is one level, they will say, my Guru, Jagat Guru, and my way is highway. And on the name of that, they fight with others, fanatics. They don't take responsibility for their spiritual life. And whereas sentimental people, they say that everything is fine. No, I am doing my rituals every day. I chant, I read Bhagavatam, and everything is fine with me. Everything is going on nicely. And that is also don't work like that. Arjuna said, I will go into the forest, I will do all this. Krishna says, no, it won't work. Now, Krishna did not tell Arjuna, you fight. He is taking time to explain all 700 verses. 2 shlokas are sufficient. Na? When Arjuna says, Krishna, I surrender. Okay, you surrender, go fight. Of course, Arjuna says, I will not fight. But he didn't ask the question, should I fight or not? That is the point. Arjuna is not a fanatic. Okay, Krishna said, see, Supreme Lord. He is telling, I will fight. No, Krishna is taking all the time to explain all the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. At least 600 is still speaking only. Why he is taking so much time to explain all these things? You could have just told, okay, I am telling, I am Lord, you can. No. We need to understand things very logically. Use our intelligence. Work hard. Do sadhana. Not any sentiment. Arjuna was sentimental. Krishna said, no, no, it won't work like that. Now, point is, sentimental people, they say everything is fine. No, everything is not fine. Because they don't want to face the difficulties. That's why they say everything is fine. I'm doing everything fine, fine, fine. No. Arjuna, when he told Krishna, why Arjuna is called a great warrior? Because he told Krishna to keep his chariot between the two armies. He said, I want to see my enemies. But this is actually what we all have to be ready. So when we say everything is fine, they are sentimental people. They don't want to face the enemies. Facing enemies is actually, that means I am ready to fight. I should know what are my enemies. And our enemies are in our heart. If I am too sentimental, I don't want to look at them. I want everything to be good. My mother, whenever I ask anything, she says, everything is fine. I chant, I know, Lord is taking care, everything is fine, everything is fine. They don't want to work, most of the Indian housewife, they don't want to work on anarthas. They want everything to be fine. And then they do all the rituals to make everything fine. They will do Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama, and Ram Raksha, this, that, and all sorts of pujas they perform to keep everything fine. House should be fine, children fine, health fine, money fine, this fine, that fine. Everything should be very, very fine. This is why they do all the rituals. That's why they are very sentimental. And then there are some people who are very fanatics. Our God is only God. I will just do whatever he says because he is helping me get my things done. Very few people say that we should change our heart, transform our heart. That means it's an endeavor, it's a labor. We have to face our enemies, which is so painful. Arjuna was a great warrior because he wanted to face his enemies. He is not afraid of facing the enemies. But what happened to Arjuna when he saw the enemies? He wanted to run away to the forest. And then Krishna says, no, 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 come stand. For us also it is like that. When we face our enemies, lust, greed, pride, anger, envy, illusion, everything is fine. People, they don't see any anartha. They say, cool. But we have to face our enemies. We should not be sentimental. We should not be fanatic also. And we have to work hard, use our intelligence. Krishna gave intelligence to understand the logic, understand the concepts. Then only it will work. This is a stage of transformation. The spiritual life means it's the strategy of our transformation, because changing material attachments to spiritual ones implies a revolution in the soul. It implies a very large transformation of our inner nature. Like because in essence, everything was created according to one's algorithms. What happens is, because outside world there is so much hostility is there, and because of which we are formed in a certain way. Our mind is it it became, what do you call, affected by it, crippled. Once we start practicing spirituality, slowly our mind opens up. It is very contrasted, very wounded and contrasted. We had to open up. We become more and more happy, joyful, and then there is so much love, and we start loving everyone. That's why Prabhupada is writing in the purport. And the last part is very clearly telling that uh, so very important purpose is that uh, yeah, he is not jealous of any living entity. So this is actually very important point, because what happens is we develop that love when mind becomes very pure. We start developing that love. Mind becomes opened up. The spiritual practice should help us to make us like that. That means any yoga practice also. So people do that. That helps them to open up the mind, which is crippled. Right? So spiritual strategies actually human transformation. There's human transformation strategies. Now, material illness is actually pain. Implies that leads us to the desire to be purified. Now there is suffering is actually pain. It's called spiritual illness. Now the same pain, despair, suffering. So now, how despair, pain, suffering, dissatisfaction in the material world can become an impulse for our spiritual development. This is actually the manifestation of some of our imperfections. Initially, an imperfection in which we ourselves are, and with which we must fight, right? So according to the first step, when we are curing a disease, especially in Ayurveda, the first in the cure is it is they they try to do all this, put the, what is the ghee and other things, panchakarma. It is a cure in our regular strategy. We try to cure our whole system from all the toxics. So what basically they are doing, they are trying to relax the system, soften the system, because pain creates tension. Within the pain, what a pain, it is sunk very deep inside, and the disease also sunk very inside. That means, so accordingly, first we need to soften the system. We need to help a person somehow relax so that we can get rid of the cause of the pain. So once we relax, so similarly, this is actually what in Ayurveda they do. Same thing is actually applicable to spiritual healing also. So in the beginning, a person comes to a despair, grief, and out of desperation, what happens? People becomes hopeless, and then they rush to different solutions, and it leads to degradation also. But here, Gajendra, he was in the desperation. So then what happens? Because he is pious person, when people who are desperate in pious, they become God-centered. So any man who need to get rid of his despair, and if we read carefully the Bhagavad Gita, the first and second chapter especially, and Krishna always helps us to get rid of this suffering. He wants us to help stop suffering. Now, and that is all because of fear. So here we can see Gajendra, right? We discussed about fear in our last sessions. So fear makes a person shrink. The same thing happens on a mental level also. This fear in which a person is located, the grief that he experiences, makes him an unsuitable vessel for him to contain knowledge. So when we are fearful, we cannot get knowledge. We cannot contain knowledge in that situation. Therefore, the first thing on the spiritual path is a person must understand. He must understand very important things. That how I am spirit, soul, not the metal body. He should understand, and a deep process that must happen within us. So now how to get rid of this? The first is to understand that I am eternal. That's what Krishna started Bhagavad Gita with. Arjuna, why are you so afraid? Why are you fearful? You are not the body only. So understanding that soul is eternal, and that helps a little bit. So makes it will get rid of slowly fear. We have to rise above that platform. So now on the spiritual platform, we cannot go further until we have the pain. So therefore, pain is an impulse for us to embark on spiritual path. The first step is to get rid of it. We need to get rid of some basic things that interfere within us. And the very important thing is that we have to get rid of the pain that is happening, and that is happens because of our attachment. Like I have any wrong identification causes pain. Please understand. Like say now everybody is say some time, like the devotees say, oh Prabhuji, you are giving good class, good class, good. So what happens if I identify myself as a person who gives good class? Immediately it's an attachment, a wrong identity, and that causes anxiety. Next time when I have to give class, I'll become more conscious, and it causes anxiety. Will I perform or not? Will I perform or not? No, that is a problem all the time. We have to be very careful. We should not take these designations very seriously. Good class, good preacher. These are very dangerous. Same any identity like that. If I think, see, problem is wrong identities. If I am thinking she is my wife, then what? If I think I need to serve her, not that she should give me some pleasure. He is my husband, I should serve him. She is my wife, I should serve. They are my children, I should serve them. So when we are in a mood of service, then there is no pain. Because when you are taken away from the designations, the pain does not happen. Now he said, okay, you are no more a husband. But you always have one designation that I am a servant. So this designation is always there. So you are not doing as a servant of husband, or you are not doing the service of a, of whatever, as a daughter or a son. Immediately that fear comes. how can I not be that? That means but death is inevitable. So one of the family member have to live. So the pain is there. How to get rid of it? By changing our designation slowly, slowly, slowly. So this is a very important things. I have to get rid of the pain from the despair, from the illness, in order to embark on spiritual path. So this is a sincere desire to get rid of is there. So because the very beginning, firmness and determination must exist only. So the desire to get rid. We may not have other things. Determination, firmness may not be there in the beginning, but at least the desire to get rid of pain should be there. That is just desire. That's all. And important thing, the desire to not a desire to deceive or not a desire to use some kind of half measures, which most of the people do in this world now. They go for half measures or deceive themselves. So we see that Dhritarashtra, for example, and Duryodhana also, they are both are going for a compromise. And even Arjuna was also in fearful, but only Hugh could come out of it. The simple reason is that he is not ready to go for this simple solutions. He really want to get out of the problem. And now if you see, the Bhagavad Gita starts with a blind person asking question. Blindness is what? Blindness in spiritual life also. So why does a person, when Vyasadeva asks Dhritarashtra, I will help you get rid of your blindness. He says, no, I don't want to. He say, why he don't want? Why does a person not want to be cured of his pain? So this is actually very important, that there is no sincerity. So the disease is a good way out. I can have a good excuse. What is the excuse people say? Rosie, I don't know about it. So first thing people say is, I don't know only. That is a very good excuse. And that is same thing. That I am blind, what can I do? So you can play a victim mentality, or you can play, no, we can play that innocence. But sometimes like illness is also good. Like when we are in school, how many of you felt that you should become sick so that you need not go to school? At least I was never becoming sick only. Hardly I miss the school because of sickness. Because I used to, some children, they were not coming and they say we are sick. I used to feel, wow, so fortunate. Hardly I used to go to hospital or become sick. But why? But children want to have some sickness because it gives an excuse for not taking the responsibility, right? So it is nice sometimes to become. We can skip office, we can skip some of our responsibilities, and the very important things that the person feels some kind of tension or somewhere. So these are the strategic diseases. So that strategy is actually a person's attempt to somehow get rid of stress. So with the help of disease, I have a pretext, I have a reason, I have a certificate, do not touch me. And we invite disease in ourselves, and then what happens? We invite we need not take that responsibility, that stress is reduced. So, and unfortunately what happens, this sickness becomes our nature. People don't want to take any responsibility in spiritual life. This is, no, I don't know anything about it. I am free, I can do whatever I want. Don't teach me all these things, I don't want to know. So the disease becomes stronger than us also that time. That's why most of the people, they don't take spirituality. They want to be in a disease stage. That helps them to be responsible and slowly, slowly, the disease stage becomes stronger. And even when we want to get rid of that, like all of us, we want to get rid of our disease. But what happens? It becomes very difficult now for us. We have enjoyed our disease state, and now suddenly we are told get rid of diseases. No, no, no. Because a person is held hostage to his own disease. Because of his weakness, he invites the disease and becomes even weaker and can no longer get rid of it. That is the disease, is like it's like a jinn. We invited the jinn of illness, ignorance, weakness. All these things are problems. We invited him to our place and it began to work for us. And then what does it do? It eats up. So this is getting stronger and stronger, and we let this jinn in out of the bottle. Therefore, the initial preconditions on the spiritual life path is honesty or sincerity. So I want to get to the end. I don't want the word that's enough. Okay, now I didn't know. This is the first conditions for success on spiritual path. The sincere desire to put an end to all the problems, because which is good. In the end, there is only one problem. When we have many problems, it is difficult to solve them. We do not know how to solve. But we have only one problem, and all the problems can be solved with one blow only. So in order to carry out this procedure, we need to at least have this preliminary desire. This is honesty. Honesty for what? To get rid of the pain once for all of them. People go for solutions. They have some problem. Do this puja, go to astrologers, and what do you say? Do some. If I have health issue, I go to Ayurveda here, there. All these things people perform. Once the problem solves, they become cozy. No more struggle. Problem comes, sadhana increases, chanting, prayer. We tell devotees, please pray for me, please pray for me. And we are very humble, trying to do and know, always asking sincere questions, being very sincere in the class. Why? Because there are some problems happening in the life. And once the problem subside, then we say, okay, Krishna, thank you very much. And then we continue our regular business of sense gratification. And we do parallelly, bhakti also is happening, but that intensity is not there. Why? We don't want to get rid of problems once. So there is a comfort zone, because this is a stage, is the elimination of fear or comfort. There are few things or several strategies that a person should use, and which Krishna uses when he guides us through the journey. So how to heal our mind? So he explains that the soul is eternal, and we need to console ourselves to gain strength to be able to somehow get rid of the diseases. So Krishna tells that first Krishna, what he tells Arjuna that you are noble, you are strong, you are a man, you can do it. Because initial stages, if a person start talking about all these things, he will answer. For him, it becomes difficult if all these very tough things are explained. So initially, Krishna is trying to boost Arjuna. He's telling, you are Parantapa, you are Sabyasachi, you are this, you are that. So in that way, he's trying to help Arjuna. If directly tells, okay, do anartha nivritti, then what Arjuna will say, no, 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 better I want to go and sleep. I don't want all these things. So now we have to console a person with faith. So why people like faith so much? Because it is comforting. That's why. And in initial stage, it is inevitable. At the initial stage, there must be faith. So then what happens? slowly, a person, it is necessary to urge a person to return to its own nature. Because by nature, he is really strong. Therefore, the most frequent apathy that Krishna often uses in relation to Arjuna is Mahabaho, oh, mighty armed one, one who has a lot of strength. You are hero. How come this weakness come upon you? Kutasva kashmalamidam. How can you sink into that state? Remember who you really are. So these are such a uh, he is trying to show a super movie, Superman. So how he was, you know, you are like Superman forgets that he's Superman sometimes. So somebody comes and reminds. So you are a Superman like that. Now similarly, to get rid of this uh, uh, enchanted circle in which a person puts himself, he need to be reminded of his dignity, of his nature. So you can do this, you are capable of this, therefore you are born as like this. Now a person, one who can solve all the problems and he should be reminded of his strength or inner strength, which we have lost because of all our problems. So now, say for example, people get rid of a disease. For a person has a cancer. So person can get rid of cancer even on the 4th degree when because of the spiritual power. We can overcome all material problems with the help of spiritual powers. And we need to remind a person that the source of all this power. We have to tell him, we have to install this faith or confidence in that person. So this is very important. So another important aspect of this is actually love. So the spiritual love, of course, it's very, very far at the stage it is easy. So now we will come to another important point that initially we take steps, even if you took only one step. So there are three things or three consolation strategies. When a person falls into despair state, we try to help him. So there are probably we are trying to help somebody. So we are all initially, that is what we need to give faith. We need to help him understand what is. So same thing Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. A person is in grief or in a desperate situation. This is the cure of everything. A devotee must be told. So now we will come to one important thing. Krishna is not giving an axiom. This is a very important point when we talk about this body or not the body, spirit, soul. Now Krishna does not just give an axiom. He does not just say that soul is eternal. He does not just say it, believe it. This is also a very important point. Because axioms cannot be proved. We said that like shortest distance between 2 points is straight line. And to prove this is impossible, because in principle it is impossible to prove, because to prove this we need to apply this axiom. But on the other hand, it is very obvious. But you want to prove means you have to draw a line. Without drawing, you cannot prove it. But you know it is the shortest. So you have to apply this law to prove it. So this is called axiom, which you cannot prove, but you know it is true. Similarly, Krishna does the same thing. When he explains the eternity of the soul, he first says that it's like an axiom that soul is eternal. And then he proves it in many ways. So first he gives an axiom and try to prove it. So, he gives a practical way to test it. He will be we will be convinced by our own experience. So that's how Krishna is trying to teach. And he is giving a practical methods. So he says that we already change our bodies, right? when we are in different bodies from childhood to now to teenage, then sadly we'll become old. Because what happens? So this indecently old person, he will die. And then what happens? Then he is going to be born again. So this is how Krishna is trying to explain the logic. He's axiom. He's telling you are soul already. Then from that he is trying to. Like I had a different body till now. So I'll be having a different body in future. So that means what is not changing, that's how he's proving. Now everything in this world is built in this way only. If I was born, I will die. If I die, then I will be born again. So there are no problems. But he explains how a person can understand this. He proves that the very fact that I see changes is a proof of eternity of mind. I am able to see the changes in my body, proves that how I am able to see the change in my body. That means you are an observer of the body. That's why you are able to see the change in the body. Otherwise, you cannot know. If I am flying in the flight, I cannot know the speed of the flight. If I am sitting in the middle and I don't see the windows, I cannot know the speed. But if I'm down outside, I'm looking at the flight, I can see that how fast the flight is going because I'm an observer. I'm outside the change. If I am part of change, I cannot know it. So Krishna is giving the same thing. So we cannot know, we are knowing the change in our body. That's why we are not the body. That's why. Now, this is what Krishna, he says that the very fact that you see these changes. Now, despite the fact that everything was different, nothing that surrounded me at that moment was gone. For the most part, people are who surround me at that very moment were no, they are all different. Everything is destroyed. The places are destroyed, and people are grown up. All my classmates, they all look different now. So okay. So now our problem we are going to we'll try to understand is in order to solve all these problems, we must take the position of an observer or contemplator on the sidelines. So in particular, he says that of course this is Jnana Marga, but sometimes it helps. Little bit we can do. What we are in the metal body, we are living and we are willing to pay the expense of the price as death only. So the pleasure, the happiness that we experience, all these things, and the payment is what? The payment is death. So it is very easily, all this enjoyment is poisoned every moment. So, but this is actually what we have to observe, because happiness will collapse at this very moment when we start, seeing it in a different way. So we will cease to be so intriguing. But Krishna explains that you look at what you live in. So you live in the Graha Medina. Krishna says our consciousness is split. Now this is the important part of our discussion. Please pay attention. I know I already bored you with so much philosophy, but I am helpless. I only can speak this only. So I'll continue. He says that our consciousness is split into happiness and sorrow. But the basis is that the atomic radiation consciousness, because the soul is an atom of consciousness, it is actually unchanging. It is not related to all these changes, including, which we call happiness, grief, because it all happens in the mind only. It is nothing to do with the soul. Happiness and distress, where they are? They're in the mind. They are not in the soul. Soul is always blissful. Now Krishna says, become an observer or contemplator of your own happiness and sorrow. So that's why he is telling, don't get disturbed by it. Don't take it so seriously. So I was giving the example like, when Alexander conquered Porus and he was brought in front of him, and then Porus, Alexander said, okay, what should I do with you? And then Porus says that you should deal with me like a king. See, I am a king. I am, and you are a king. You should deal with me like a king only. He says, you are defeated now. He says, yeah, defeat, victory, and all. If you don't treat me like a king, it is disgrace for you only. Because victory and defeat can anytime happen. Now you defeated me. In future, I can defeat you. So why are you taking victory and defeat so seriously? You just treat me like a king. Otherwise, it is disgrace for you only. This cannot be taken seriously. Sometimes defeat happens, sometimes victory happens. This is life. So when Alexander heard, he was actually very, affected by it. He said, okay, you continue, remain the king. And he appointed somebody and he left. The point is that this is actually what Krishna is telling. The person who follows dharma, he takes his service responsibility seriously, not the result seriously, not happiness and distance seriously. This is actually becomes an observer or contemplator of our own happiness. And see, why problem comes for the parents with the children is because they are attached to the result. They say, Prabhuji, I tried so much to make my children devotees. Okay, you tried, very good. Then what? But I am attached to the result. They are not becoming devotees. Then problem comes. You did your best, but when you are attached to the result that they are not performing, they are not coming up to my expectations, then you will have problem. Then you are attached to the results. No, you just do. Whether they become devotee or not, it is up to them and Krishna. You have to do your duty of making them devotee. Don't be attached to the result, whether they'll become devotee or not. If you are not attached to the result, you are very peaceful. If we are attached to result, then only the problem comes. And all this pain comes. Why they are not performing, why they are not doing, why they are not performing in academies. Why are you attached to result? This is the cause of pain. Otherwise, there is no pain. Pain is with our attachment. Pain is in our mind. If I am ready to do, then what happens? If we don't get attached but continue doing our duty, not getting affected by the result, our mind will become free. Our mind will become free, our heart get expanded, we can experience, then only we can hold love in our heart. Now it is very, very contrasted because of our attachments, because of our so much fruitive mentality that is causing us pain. When we get rid of them, then the heart is expanding, we can experience bliss and everything happens. Of course, people don't want to listen these things. The listening is only so painful. How can I be not attached? Your attachment is the cause of pain. Don't be attached. You will be very happy. You can jump in kirtan and you'll be jumping in kirtan like anything. So this is we become observer of our own happiness and distress. We should not be alarmed. Everything will be fine. So he says that the very moment when happiness comes over us, try to look it from side and don't get too carried away by it because we still don't know how it will end also. That is happiness. But it is no, because uh, there are so many things that happens. So, and there is a small story we'll end with. This was a beggar. He was collecting some firewood and he used to live on some pennies. So for some reason he had a very expensive, amazing, very good horse, very beautiful horse. So king's officials, they were ready to give him millions of very big amount to get it. And they asked him, do you sell this? He said, no, how can I sell it? He is my friend. He is living with me and how can I sell it? I cannot sell it. So he is always with me. He is on my own. And I don't have right to do so. And people in the village, they used to come and says, are you crazy or what? You are a beggar. You are hardly able to make good money. You have something to sell and you sell it and you'll be happy. You have such happiness, but you do not use it. He says, wait, I have no happiness, no grief. I just have my horse and now I live with the horse. And in no ways it was connected to my happiness. People thought he's crazy. At one point, what happened? This horse was stolen or run away. And people came to him and said that, Arey, no, they crowded and began to point finger at him and began to say, oh fool, we told you everything. Now you are in great sorrow. You could have been happy. Now why are you in sorrow? He said, wait a minute. My facts are simple. I used to have a horse and now I don't have a horse. Why is it connected to my happiness and distress? Why is this happiness or sorrow? I cannot understand only. So it is not clear why you say that this is grief. Before there was no happiness and now there is no grief. I just had a horse. Why are you connecting happiness with the horse? So people said he is lost case, he is gone case. He could not become happy and he did not. And few days passed and this horse returned with some more, one more horse. Then people came and said, wow, you are very smart. We thought you are in distress and he knows that this is happiness. And he said he had one horse. Now he had he got, I think, 2-3 more herds. Now he says, now you need to sell it and become much more richer. He says, wait a minute. What strange people you are. Before that, I had no grief and now there is no happiness. I just got, no, one horse previously, now I have some 15. So nothing else to change, 1 or 2 or 15, whatever extra he got. He says there is no need to rejoice. He just, there is no rejoice and there is no grief. So this is, so what happens next is that his teenage son, he began to ride on that wild horse and suddenly he fell and his leg broke. And the crowd comes in and says, oh, he must be wise. We talked with his happiness and he saw that he's a grief. He turned out to be grief. He said, wait, no happiness, no grief. I just had a son with a good leg and now he's limping. So where is question of happiness and distress? Very important lesson. Try to understand this. We might have heard this story, but it is very important. Then they declared that then there was a war, recruitment for the war. All the children were taken and all the people again came, saw that, oh, they did not want their children to go, but there's no option. So then they were all disappointed. So they come to him. He says, he used the same logic. Where is the question of grief? Where is the question of? And Krishna is also using the same. He is telling the same logic. So the point of view of logic, the man is an observer. This is the point. He remains an observer in all changes because the soul is eternal. He gives one, no, this is actually the proof. So anyway, hope I did not confuse, but this is the point that we are an observers and that's the way to be happy. And that will make things, everything easy for us. No need to be. So what we discussed today, I will summarize that spiritual life is understanding the eternity of the soul. So we were discussing that not everybody is willing to get rid of the pain. So we were discussing on pain, that once for all solving all the pain, that determination, that desire should be there. Then other determination, other things will come. So this honesty is not there in people. They are not ready to face the enemies like Arjuna did. Of course, Arjuna wanted to run away, but he at least initially said, I want to face my enemies. People don't want to face. So there we discuss about people who are sentimental and who are fanatics. So sentimentalism is I am doing my rituals. I recite nice shlokas, I recite this, I recite that, and everything should happen good for me. This is sentimental people. Fanatic people is my way is highway. I am doing right. My guru will take care. I am just doing. I just have to do it. That's all. They are not ready to face the enemies and try to handle with them. So that is the situation. Why? Because we want to be in a diseased state. Why diseased state? We discussed that that makes us free from the responsibility of solving the problem. We discussed like in childhood, we want to become sick. What happened? We become hostile to our sickness. Now to get rid of it is becoming difficult. Now we are saying, Prabhuji, no, we want to do our sadhana and all, but it does not happen only. Yes, it does not happen because we want to become sick and we are still sick. Anyway, let's think time is over. Thank you all very much. Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for such a wonderful class, Prabhuji. Really, even now I feel sometimes that I am sick already. Even though I'm very healthy, but I pretend to be I'm sick. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And I like the story which you have mentioned. Really, the beggar is really very intelligent rather than all the people who are making him to get attached to all the stuff. But really nice story, Prabhuji. Very nice. Yeah, devotees, if anyone has any questions or comments for Prabhuji, please go ahead. Yeah, Sindhuram Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. Very, very beautiful class. I really liked many points today. They are very practical. Actually, you took us to a second level of consciousness, which I hadn't even realized, right? We think doing a little bit of chanting and a little bit of worship of the deities and listening to the classes, that is bhakti, right? We've kind of checked all the marks. But you actually took us to a different level today where you started saying we have to face our weakness, right? And we have to change from internally. And it is very, very beautiful. One question that I had is, we said sometimes we don't want to face our fears because we are actually happy in that ignorance. I know this is not the reality, but I don't want to come out of it because I'm doing a little bit of enjoyment there, right? Any enjoyment. I get, if something good happens, I'm kind of happy. But when I detach from that, right? You said you can be happy being an observer. How can you be happy being an observer? Because if you're an observer, there is no sentiments there, right? You're just watching. You can only when you're attached, you'll get that happiness. My question is, if you're detached from all these things, there is some kind of a void. Unless you're spiritually strong and you are actually progressing and you're experiencing spirituality, that bliss of spirituality, if you detach from this reality also, there is voidness, isn't it?
Actually, we have to understand when we grow in our consciousness, it's a different level of happiness. Say, I'll give an example. Like say, children are there. You have sometime taken care of children. Like now children, when they are playing some things and suddenly it breaks or some toys break or some of the things that children are doing, it in their play in between something gets abruptly destroyed. Now children are very unhappy. They are crying for it. So what we do, we try to help them. Say, okay, these toys are not very good. I'll give you a new one. This is gone, no problem. So now what we try to do, we elevate their consciousness and bring them to a different level of reality, trying to explain them this, you cannot take these things very seriously. Now, will that detachment help them to become peaceful, or it is helping them to in a void state?
It is helping them to become more peaceful.
So their attachment to the toys and all is actually, they think that is pleasure, but we are helping them to elevate their consciousness. So that means they are getting another level of happiness in that. They're experiencing peace and they experience a different level of happiness. So when it comes to the family also, when it is not that detachment means you don't have emotions. This is that Mayavadi conception. Ours is not like that. There are emotions, there are feelings, but we also know that it is Krishna who is actually in action. It's not me. I am doing it for Krishna. Like say, I have to give class. So I am very happy to do this service of giving class. But the result for it, I am not attached. So now you are a mother or a husband or a daughter or whatever responsibility, sister, you have responsibilities that are given to you by Krishna. You do it very nicely and you will be very happy doing that for the pleasure of Krishna as a servant. You want to serve your children, you want to serve your husband, serve your brother, serve your parents. So you always be in the mood of service, and that service itself make you happy, not the result. So detachment from result is what is important, not from the service. So you are so happy that you are getting, say your mother comes to your place, or you are staying with your mother. So when you are serving your mother, the service itself should make you happy, not the result. So that is what Krishna is trying to teach us. So it's not that you don't have emotions. We are emotional. More we are absorbed in the service, more we are putting emotions, more we can experience satisfaction. It is not. It is not a very gross level. We get a more subtle level of happiness. Oh, you are satisfied that no, you did something. There is no need of any result in it. So this is a different level. So when we say detachment, detachment from the result. I told, like when you are taking care of, why parents have problem with children is that I am not getting my results. That's why we are unhappy. But you are happy service, you put all your emotions, put full heart and render service to children, then that is correct. We should have emotions. If we don't have emotions, then we cannot have emotions to Krishna also. Not possible like that.
Yes, very nice, Prabhu. Very beautiful answer and excellent class, Prabhu. I don't know how much I understood. I know there's something, but I don't know what that something is that you explained. So I will listen to this class once more. It's very, very difficult, one is the difficulty of understanding itself. And when you try to implement it, it is even more hard, because we think bhakti is just checking those marks. It's not that. The best way to check, when you were talking, I felt that, do I love everybody, right? I don't actually. So I'm still not there. That is my check, I felt. Even a little bit of discord, there is so much of emotions, there's so much of anger, there's so much feelings, right? So we are still not there. So it is much greater than what we think and what we want to acquire. Thank you for a wonderful class. I know you said you don't want to hear that, but you just explained a new dimension to me. And I really appreciate all your effort and, bringing this to us, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for such a wonderful question. Yeah, you're so straightforward. Everyone are that way only, Mataji. But depending on Krishna, hopefully someday we might go through all that. Hare Krishna. Prahlad Prabhuji, someone raised their hand. Okay, Mataji.
Lalitangi Mataji.
Oh, Lalitangi Mataji, please go ahead with your question. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. Always when you come, you tell something that make us think more. So thank you so much.
I may not be able to give all the time. No.
No, Prabhuji, very practical realizations from your heart. And some things strike to us, some things go above our head, but we are grateful for your association and sharing such deep realizations. Like you said that everybody say that you are giving a good class, but how you should not identify with that, so that there is no pressure of performing. That's really a wonderful point, Prabhuji. So my question is, in that story, how the mind is observer. Okay, I had a horse and the horse died and there are more horse. But practically speaking, when we are among the objects of attachment, whether living or non-living, house, furniture, that's what Prahlad Maharaj says, and the relatives and children who's come from one's own body. So it's true that it's such a dark, deep well, but how can we remain as an observer and not get attached while we are among all this? Of course, we are trying to understand theoretically at least our identity as soul and a servant of Krishna. But practically from the heart, that attachment to Krishna has not arisen, that can defeat the attachment with the other objects. So can you explain, Prabhuji?
We have to change our definition of happiness, Mataji. We have to be very affectionate. We have to render our service, and that itself should make us happy. Your rendering service should make you happy, that I have done my service as a mother properly. So that should make you happy, not that their performance. You don't identify with their performance. I say, my daughter is a doctor, my son is an engineer, and they are doing very good. We want them to be good, but that should not be our identity. So when we identify like that, then we will have problems. If we are, I did my responsibility, let them do their responsibility. So in that way, slowly, we try to get a happiness in mode of goodness. It's not in mode of passion. Passion is always with the work and results. Work, result. That is actually passion. We want to come out of that lower nature. We want to come to mode of goodness, where let me do my responsibility, let my children do their responsibility. If they are doing their responsibility, I am happy. I'll do my responsibility, I'll be happy. No need of any work, no need of bothering about result. So this is the first thing. So that means we have to change our understanding of happiness. Our happiness presently is all result oriented happiness. So this is the greatest problem presently. We have to get rid of this. That's what Krishna is telling. He's telling, success, failure, happiness, distress. So this success, failure, this is actually what is our definition of happiness. No. That way it will not work. So we have to give a different way of happiness. Let them do, you train them. Life is responsibility, take responsibility. Life is not to become some great, something, achieve something, perform. In Vedic culture, a cook was never trying to become a king. Cook was happy with his service of cooking. He was never trying to take the position of a king. A farmer is happy. He don't want to become a software engineer. Why? Because everybody knows that I have something to contribute to society and I will do it. So it's not any result there. It's a contribution what I am doing it. Presently, the whole system got corrupted and everybody is told you have to perform, you have to perform. And then the whole orientation of happiness, everything went wrong. Previously, it was not like that. Kshatriya means, yes, do as a Kshatriya, you die, no problem, go to heaven. You live, you become the king, no problem. They were not affected by the result. They said, I am a Kshatriya, I should live. No, there was, in the Vedic culture, there was never a revolution of a lower, like the people below trying to take over the kingdom. Or French Revolution, Russian Revolution, American Revolutions. There's no revolution only in the Vedic culture. Why? Everybody is satisfied with what they are doing. Because everybody knows I have something to contribute. That itself is actually the way of happiness. But now the happiness changed. That's why we are so much attached. Attachment will be there. It will not go away. But one level of attachment will overcome for the result. Second is slowly, when we are together practicing Krishna consciousness, our attachment towards spiritual practices increase, and automatically this detachment happens. We don't separately cultivate detachment. This is a process of jnana. Our detachment is only we try to practice, we try to please Krishna as much as possible. We should not think of so much anarthanavritti or detachment. Some part we should practice, but most of our time should go in how much did I please Krishna? How much I try to develop a relationship with a person called Krishna. he is there in my house, either a form of a deity or in form of a photo. How much I have developed a relation with a person called Krishna in my house who is there now. What did you do to him today? Did you chant for his pleasure? Did you cook for his pleasure? It's not that after doing I say, okay, Krishna, you take. No. While doing only, I should consciously feel for him and do. So when mother cooks for the child, she's conscious. Okay, my children likes this. She likes little spicy. She likes little, gravy. She likes like this. So she's conscious about how the children like, and she makes it. Similarly, when we are dealing with Krishna, I have to consciously know what Krishna wants, and I should deal with him. So we should work more on developing a relation with Krishna. Automatically, detachment comes. So no need of separately worrying. But the emotions which we are keeping for the family, we have to slowly start having the same emotions for Krishna also. That will work. We should develop that emotions bondage with Krishna also. That is what is more important. So a person don't have emotions, he is having a problem because he cannot show for Krishna also. That's why for women it is easier for them to become Krishna conscious, because they already have that emotions. They just have to say, okay, now one more member in my family. So when they bring the deities, it is like bringing a child to the home. You have to do so much attention. As soon as the children grows up, bring a deity to the home and start taking care of the deity as a child. You develop emotions for the child. That's all. Life is perfect. I don't know. I answered your question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very practical answer. That's hope and easy to practice. And you said that develop the same emotions to Krishna. That's very, very valid lesson, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji, for such a wonderful question. Hare Krishna. Supriya Mataji, please go ahead with your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for this wonderful class. Prabhuji, I have one question, one weird question, I would say rather, and one realization. I'll first start with a question. Prabhuji, Maya is actually Durga Devi, right? It's external energy of the Lord. So, but if we see from that perspective, Durga Devi is actually a devotee of the Lord. And in reality also, Maya is a devotee of the Lord because she is serving the Lord, okay, as the external energy. So, and in our parampara, we respect all the devotees. So why don't we respect Maya also?
We respect Maya. We don't serve Maya. We want to serve Krishna.
Okay. And when we
We
say
respect.
we respect Maya, what do you mean exactly? I didn't understand. In what way we respect Maya?
Yeah, if you see Durga Devi, we can offer obeisances. She's
Okay. But
Subhadra
then,
Devi, we offer obeisance. No, Subhadra, we chant. No? She's Maya Devi only. She's external energy. Subhadra, Jagannath Baldev, Subhadra. We Aarti also we do.
okay.
But she is Yoga Maya, no, Prabhu. She is Yoga Maya, no. But the Durga Devi is Mahamaya, no.
No, her expansion only. Sister,
But
na?
Yoga Maya helps in spiritual life. But Mahamaya will try to see that you forget Krishna so that you can be kept in this world.
Like, gopis are worshipping Katyayani. So we also worship, but we say, please help me become devotee of Krishna. That's all.
okay.
So we don't separately put in the altar and worship, but yeah, we worship. We worship in the sense we offer respects like that. We don't, we are not against Durga Devi. She is
Again,
energy of
basically,
Lord.
we can say we can say this way that we don't attach our happiness to Maya. Instead, we attach our happiness with Krishna.
See, same Maya will become spiritual. Say, if I have a rose flower, if I take that rose flower and give to my girlfriend, it is Maya. If I take that rose flower and offer it to Krishna, then it becomes prasadam. You can smell the flower. You get spiritual benefit. Flower only, na? Why we are taking the flower and no? Because what happened to that flower? Mahamaya became Yogamaya. That material became spiritual. That's all. How the same energy can be utilized in Krishna's service becomes spiritual. That's all. She is energy of the Lord only.
So from this, Prabhu, I have couple of
If
realizations also.
same Maya, what Prabhupada says that if energy, if we are using for ourselves, she becomes Mahamaya. Same energy, if
How
we are
we use,
using for
how we
Krishna's
use
service, it
energy, that
becomes.
matters. Yes.
How we are using it matters. I have a mobile I can use for watching Netflix, or I can watching, some
And
lectures.
also
Bhakti
how
Sanga.
we define our happiness as well as success. That is in our hand. Right now we are being driven by the social conditioning that success means you earn that much of money, get this much of salary or something like that is the success. And in that process, in going with the social conditioning, we forget who we are and what is our actual goal of life and everything. But if we define success in our own terms, like success, for me success is being happy. And what is the definition of happiness? Happiness is something which I focus on everything in every situation, whether I have done my best and whether everything, I mean, I'm
I have done my
focusing only on what
responsibility
is
properly. With full
I have
heart
done my
doing your
best.
responsibility. Your
And
best.
then whether I'm focusing on what is in my control.
Yes.
Doing things are in my control, but expecting results or expecting people to go my way or expecting people to think certain way is not in my control. That will
Yes.
only create a problem for me. So
Yes.
instead, if we think that way, or focusing only on what is in my control and defining our happiness and success based on that, then we are always happy and always successful.
Yes. Perfect.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sukakara Krishna Prabhuji. Please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you, Radha Pramod Prabhu. Your class I really love so much. Prabhu, just I want to know, you said that we should be able to make Krishna as part of our family. So see, like I know I have got 3 grandsons. So I'm seeing them, I'm talking to them, I'm able to have more thinking of them. Krishna, I'm doing chanting, I'm remembering, but I'm not physically with Krishna. So that much of love and affection is not coming with Krishna. So what can be done to make Krishna, because we are not seeing moving with us no daily. We are only realizing when we chant, yes, we get happiness. When we read Bhagavatam, we feel happy. But he is not with us as a person.
We have to make an endeavor to do something to please that person every day. Then we develop attachment. Like say now I have we do like a ritual. Okay, I completed my chanting, I completed my hearing. Now I do my own business with my family members, and I want to have some entertainment or whatever with my family business. We are doing Krishna consciousness as a ritual. Like, oh, I did my chanting is over, reading is over, hearing is over. I had to do some arti and worship. That is also over. Now it is time for me to do my family business and do things. If we do in that way, we will never get that relationship with Krishna. Krishna don't want it like that as a ritual. We have to do it as a act of, we should treat Krishna as a person and do it to the person. Then Krishna will also reciprocate like the person. And then you start experiencing Krishna's reciprocation very slowly. For sure. Krishna is so eager to develop a relation. I have to consciously, as a relation, I should do my things, even little bit also. It's not as a ritual, because he will not reciprocate with that so easily. We have to do it as a consciously. Okay, I have to, there is one more person in my house called Krishna. Let me do it for him. Some activity for today, even little bit also, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something we do for a person Krishna. Slowly, heart starts melting, heart becomes softens, it starts vibrating for Krishna. We start feeling for a person called Krishna. We have to be very conscious. We cannot do in a mechanical way. That is my understanding.
One thing I want to ask, that one person was attending the class and they said, no, you should not go and watch cricket, you should not do. He's telling, I'm getting happiness in that. So, and I'm not doing something which is against the law. I told that by watching cricket, are you able to remember Krishna? He said, no. I said, that Anukulitsa Sankalpa is important. Anything which is not going to make you remember Krishna, it is to be rejected. So, the material world that people go for film, movie and all, they feel happy that 3 hours and they come back and they do chanting also, but they're doing also watching movie once in a week, once in a month. So they're telling, how do we stop that? I told you, go and watch Mahabharata, some movie. That's also movie only, Bhakta Prahlad. So the new devotees, they ask such questions. What's wrong if you go once in a month, one movie?
Basically, they should get a, because of mode of passion and ignorance, they have taste in that activities. Just by telling, okay, instead of movie of Hollywood, you watch Mahabharata, it won't work actually. And we tell them stop watching cricket and all, it won't work because they have taste in that. So the taste is because of lower modes. Slowly, we have to give them a lifestyle where the lower modes, the effect of lower mode reduces. Like they wake up early morning, chant their rounds, and hear everyday Bhagavatam and try to understand the logical, Shastra Chakshu and logically understand Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Then the taste of these things will slowly evaporate. And other times, what happens is after few years of bhakti also, previously they left and again they start watching and all. Why it happens? Because again they started doing mechanically all this. It's like a ritual they do bhakti. That's again it's a problem. Bhakti, every time if we are not conscious, again we come down, we come back. All the taste will come back. So basically, we have to help them to come out of lower taste, passion and ignorance, taste and passion and ignorance. Then automatically you don't like it. Say now, if somebody want to show us some cartoons, children cartoons, we say, what is this? Why we don't like cartoons? Children are enjoying because they have taste in it. That is in more lower modes of ignorance. We don't have taste in it. So similarly, once for people who have got elevated to mode of goodness, all this Hollywood, cricket and all becomes like a cartoon show. They say, why are you showing me cartoon show? I want to have something higher. It's like that. So we have to help them come out of lower modes by giving a practice on a more on a practical level. Some practices help them to come out of passion.
For me, no, even hearing Bhagavatam, I'm feeling very enthused. I'm consciously more doing. But the chanting, that is not there where you, if I given 1 hour for chanting, 1 hour for Bhagavatam class, that Bhagavatam class, I'm totally into it. So I'm trying to understand what you spoke. I'm trying to tell others. But the chanting, that is, we're doing group chanting with Ananda Prabhu, but somehow the 2 hours over, that is not, the taste is not coming.
It's a struggle, bro. We have to keep on doing, and Krishna one day will reciprocate. He will show some mercy. We have to keep praying. Prayer is actually very important. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I am also struggling, so I cannot. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Balaji, Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. I appreciate the class so much. There's a lot of good information. Kind of looking at the different perspective about what I'm daily doing, Prabhuji. Thank you for taking me into that direction. One thing though, correct me if I'm wrong, from listening to your class, that we need to develop individual love and affection, or individual relationship with Krishna, and that everything I do daily has to be personal, right? So that means I have to be in the presence, rather than when I'm doing arati, I won't be thinking somewhere else, which is what happens many times, right? I want to do it like, and then I go somewhere else. So that has to be there in every aspect of life then. Even treating my children, serving, every service I do is with that mood then, right? Even though I'm not physically seeing Krishna, but physically having is the one aspect of perception. There is a different dimensions of perception of Krishna, right? Can you elaborate on that, please?
Because what happens is, if we are understanding the energy of the Lord, how he is connected to material nature, then we understand the Paramatma feature of the Lord. We understand him as like Paramatma. When you are going at different level, then we understand that he has spiritual energies also. Then there is Narayana form. Then there is more personal form of Krishna. So different aspects of Krishna are revealed based on what type of mood we are trying to develop and what sadhana we are doing. So it determines what revelation Krishna gives. So Krishna's revelation is proportionate to two things: our understanding and our practices, both. So what type of understanding we have about Supreme Lord? Some people have only Brahman understanding. Some people have Paramatma understanding. Some people may have the Narayana spiritual world, different forms of the Lord. But some people are very personal with more intimate is Krishna's form. So his reciprocation is proportionate to our understanding and practices, like that.
Okay. So say, for example, somebody likes to is a childhood of Krishna, like Balya form of Krishna, Gopal form of Krishna. They like more. That could be, they can double down on that aspect. So that's how Krishna reciprocates, like a Vatsalya, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Whatever, actually, we have to go according to our acharyas. We have to take the guidance of acharyas through the writings, and then we have to develop that mood. It will, after Nishtha stage, we can become more fixed in the mood which we want to develop.
Wonderful. So first as a new sadhaka, you have to just focus on the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, I guess.
Yeah.
And then automatically the next stage will go.
Yeah.
That is in accordance, communication with the Guru.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not automatic, but say gradual.
Thank you. That probably those questions could be faced, put to the Guru, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay. Appreciate.
Thank you, Balaji Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Are there any other doubts or comments with Prabhuji? Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, you asked for the recording. I posted the YouTube link for this class, Prabhu. So please check on that. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, looks like everyone are no more questions, I believe, Prabhuji. I think we can end the call here. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving such an enlightening class today. And we look forward for your association again in the future. Let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha. Grandrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Radha Pramod Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai. Gauranga.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Nityananda.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today's class. We'll close the call for today. We'll
Jai
meet
Jai Shri
again tomorrow
Radhe
on
Shyam.
Srimad
Lalita
Bhagavatam
Prabhu
class.
ki jai.
Gauranga.
Nityananda.
Radhe
Nityananda.
Radhe.